The following is a special presentation.
Hello, and welcome to the 54th Annual Communications Week, hosted by the Bethany College Department of Communications and Media Arts. My name is Lauren Simpson, and as the 2015-2016 Junior Departmental Fellow, I would like to thank you for joining us this evening and say what a pleasure it is to have you all here. At this point, it is my pleasure to introduce our Senior Departmental Fellow, Ms. Sammy Schott. Sammy has done great things for the Communications and Media Arts Department since the moment she stepped foot on campus, becoming involved in the department as an underclassman and never looking back since. She is the former Operations Manager of WVBC Radio and former Secretary of PRSSA, currently serving as the Program Director of WVBC Radio, in addition to being a driving force in making Communications Week 54 the great success that it is. At this time, I ask that you please give a warm welcome to Ms. Sammy Schott.
Hello, and once again, welcome to the 54th Communications and Media Arts Week. My name is Sammy Schott, and I serve as the current Senior Departmental Fellow and also as WVBC Radio's Program Director. Being a communications student during this time is incredibly interesting because we are not simply learning about the industry, we are experiencing it. We are creating it, we are living it. Bethany students, with the help of our professors, have helped create multiple social media accounts and have helped with promoting many events. This year, for the 54th Communications Week, we have a full week of events with alumni that truly care about their alma mater. We hope that you will join us in some of the other events this week. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chair of our department and PRSSA's Educator of the Year, who has done so much to keep all of us on these exciting tracks in communications. Please join me in welcoming Emmy Yankasek Gamble.
Each year we have wonderful junior and senior fellows, but I think these two ladies are especially great. Thank you. Thank you so much. They left me. Perhaps they're not that great anymore. Good evening, and thank you so much for coming to the 54th Annual Comm Week. I want to give a couple shout outs to some wonderful individuals who without them this would not be possible. Tonight we are joined by our wonderful and very supportive Dean Katrina Diakeen, and three of the hardest working faculty members I have ever had the privilege to be with, Dr. Patrick Sutherland in the back, Dr. Jason Smith also in the back, and Professor Eric Sprouse in the back. There we go. So they are all with us. We also have an assistant member of our department who, if you have an all-around safety who just does absolutely everything, and my own personal Bigfoot and great husband, Dr. Mort Gamble. So thank you very much for being part of it with us. As in the past, we strive during Communications Week to capture the latest trends, research, insights, and really just exciting stuff that's happening in the media arts. The emphasis in our department is on strong teaching and experimental learning. During the past few years, our students have completed a number of incredible internships. On Wednesday, we're inviting you to come to the internship fair that we're having in Commencement Hall. You can talk to each of the individuals, find out what they did on their summer vacation, and how you too can have an opportunity to have a wonderful and meaningful internship and gaining valuable experience that will prepare them for a multimedia digital marketplace. I think our career placement is outstanding. The gentlemen whose names you heard me introduce have so much to do with that. Dr. Sutherland has been with us for over 26 years. He has an understanding of where our alums are, what they're doing, and an incredible respect from them. Dr. Smith and myself, and of course our junior member, Professor Sprouse, All of us know that while learning is wonderful, and especially being here at a small college of national distinction is a great opportunity, we also are interested in seeing how that allows us to make that next step in our life, whether that's graduate school, whether that's seeking employment for a larger company, or going on an entrepreneurial track. On Friday afternoon, if you have a chance, in Richardson 21 at 2:30, one of our very baby grads, Anthony Sparks, who just graduated 2 years ago, is going to come back and talk to us. Anthony left and worked for a very big company and realized that, quite frankly, he could make more money owning his own company. And so that's exactly what he has done, and he is going to share with all of us. Those of you who are here from my COM 101 class, you've got front row seats for that particular activity on Friday afternoon. So we're very, very proud of all of our students who represent Bethany so well in their fields of communication. The quality of our program is matched by the enthusiasm of our students, and I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing quite a lot of them. I am to understand, if I counted properly, that the Business, Communication, and Media Arts academic program is one of the largest on campus, with majors and minors. And so I am very grateful for the many alumni, friends, sponsors, donors, and members of the campus community who have contributed to allow us to have a wonderful, successful, exciting department. So, are you sitting out there wondering what Bigfoot has to do with Calm Week? Me too. You know, we're all storytellers. We're all digital storytellers. And some stories capture our imagination more than others. This is one that kind of gets in there. It's like the earworm of your favorite song. And Bigfoot captures the imagination, not just here, not just domestically, but internationally. And tonight, we are very excited to have Professor Sprouse to talk to us a little bit about how this movie was made, who made this movie, the stars of this movie, and quite frankly, why Bigfoot seems to be one of those storylines that keeps us asking more and more questions. So will you help me welcome Professor Sprouse to the podium, and thank you so much for being here.
Good evening. These are the moments that every teacher appreciates and looks forward to in life, because we have the opportunity to support our former students as well, as you can see. Jared Schell, the gentleman in the back, dressed like the young Santa Claus, was one of my former students when I taught at California University, and I think it's important for teachers to continually support their students even after they graduate. And Jared was a student of mine, for those of you who did not realize that, who is living the dream. And he has made a wonderful production. I have already screened it, and it is very good. I will advise you to stay until after the credits, because he pulled the Avengers trick, and there's just a little bit of the movie afterwards, after the credits as well. But the point of it being here for Calm Week is to allow you, as the current students, to appreciate how difficult it is to truly pull off a film of this nature. And if you've worked with the Bethany Broadcast Network or BCTV, you know it's a challenge to do a simple football game or a challenge to do a basketball game. He's done an entire film based on the legendary Bigfoot. And it's not a documentary. It is a comedy horror film, a lot in the vein of maybe Scary Movie, I guess. But the importance of it is immeasurable because we wanted to present it to Comm Week because it was shot here in the local hills of Pennsylvania, in that area. Jared lives in Los Angeles now. He is living that dream. And we want to try to inspire you to try to live yours, especially here during Comm Week. And that's what's important to recognize, that if you're a radio disc jockey, a movie maker, a director of sports, someone who calls sports, someone involved in communication, or even if you're not and you have that kind of dream, Jared is here to have a little question and answer session after the film is over on what it was like to make Bigfoot. And I think it's an opportunity that you should all take advantage of. Ask questions. Take a look at some of the things that he's done in this film and see how truly remarkable it is that it could be done on this level, your level, and any kind of a movie that you can make as well, and that we can bring you back to Bethany, honor you in the same way that I'm honoring Jared, who is now my friend, no longer my student, who has truly done something amazing. And that's what I hope that you get out of this, that as a teacher, this is the proudest moment you can have when you can support a former student who is now very much your peer. And that's why I'm doing the Bigfoot, because I'm very supportive of him. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, Bigfoot the movie.
Becky! Where are you?
We're here reporting live in Elwood City. Police have told me there are several fatalities, but I have had the opportunity to speak with a couple of eyewitnesses.
All you city folk think up here in the sticks are just a bunch of hicks sitting around, getting drunk, telling stories of spaceships landing. Now here we saw Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you right now, I'm gonna bring you the proof.
Now, boys, this sounds a lot like the time you called to tell me you saw a dragon in the bathroom at Long John Silver's.
I ain't huffed gas in over 4 years. This was real.
Hey, you just missed it. Bigfoot was just down here.
No longer are we gonna be the laughing stocks of this tide. He is.
We need to find this beast, and we need to kill him.
We need to kill him down! Is it a crime to go out driving around, spotting deer, shooting shotguns, all while drinking beer?
Yes, actually, those are all crimes.
I'm an exterminator. That's what I do. I exterminate things. You know, pests, vermins, except humans, of course. Of course.
We're gonna take Bigfoot, grind him up, turn him into jerky, and then we'll sell it to the town. I'll give you my world famous deer jerky recipe. That sounds good. Let's do this! Yeah! Come on, come get it!
How large his footprint is?
It's huge. It's big. It's a big foot. You get it?
Thank you. Thank you, Eric Sprouse. Thank you, Bethany College, for having me. I appreciate that. So now we'll just do the Q&A part. And to let everybody know, this is the first question I always get. There were no animals harmed in the making of this movie. Bigfoot's fine. He didn't really die. He's all good. So, anybody have any questions? Yes.
Hello, this is Kelly Farrell from BCTV.
Cool.
I was just wondering, what inspired you to work on a picture that involved the phenomenon of Bigfoot?
Yeah, I've always kind of just been a big fan of Bigfoot since I was a kid. My grandfather used to joke around about Bigfoot a lot with me and say he was always seeing them out the kitchen window. but he would like yell like, "Hey, come to the kitchen window! There's Bigfoot out there!" And I'd go run over there, but I would never see him. Just like playing jokes like that, and it just always kind of stuck with me. So I've always just been a fan of Bigfoot. Yeah. Anybody? Yes.
So about how long did it take you to complete production of the film?
We started in the fall of 2013. I wanted to shoot like kind of in the fall time. Also, we had a lot of night shoots, so I wanted the time change to happen. So we started like at the beginning of November, and about 30 days in, it started snowing, and then it didn't stop snowing. So we had to shut down, and we came back in the spring, and we shot for about another 2 weeks. And then I came back and started cutting the movie together and working on the post-production of it, the sound design and the color correction, and getting those people involved. Since it was so low budget, it takes a longer process it's more when they had the time to do it, because everybody was working on other projects too. So it was just kind of a time process with that. But so 2013, about 2 years, all said and done. Yes?
Did your script go through a lot of revisions, or did you kind of go with your basic outline of it, or what?
We had like an outline of the story of what we wanted to happen. I co-wrote the movie with Kurt Wooten, the guy in the mullet who plays Pittsburgh Dad too. I don't know if anybody's heard of him. And we would kind of go on the set, and everybody would have their lines down. I'm like, if something doesn't feel right, if you want to change anything, just mix it up. I'm totally fine with that. Or we would just think of some jokes on set that might work better, and shoot it a couple different ways. So the outline kind of stayed the same, but like the jokes would change on the set.
So there was a lot of improvisation?
Oh yeah. Like the one scene where they're jiggling my belly, that was not in the script. That was us setting up the shot beforehand, and they started doing that, and they thought it was really funny. And so I said, all right, well, I guess we're doing this. So. Anybody else? Yes. I got permission from Yingling Beer to use it. It was a little bit of a process. I had to send them the scripts because they wanted to make sure there were no like scenes of people drinking and driving or any people underage or stuff like that. So anytime we had like scenes with us shooting guns, they didn't want to use that kind of beer. So there's actually a place, they have a couple of different places. There's prop houses that make fake beer labels. And you can go there. It's almost like going to a grocery store. And they just have all these fictional labels for cereal, beer, magazines, all this stuff. And I went and picked out, there was a beer called Penn Pables, which, because we shot the movie in Pennsylvania, I'm like, kind of Pennsylvania beer. And so we got some fake beers to go along with that. And then along with like Permane Brothers, I just called and asked permission to use their brand. But it's just calling ahead and getting the permission and getting it in writing and stuff like that. But everybody was pretty nice about it. As long as you show it in a positive kind of way, they're usually very cool with it. Yeah. What's that? Oh, okay, cool. Yes? Recast anybody? Not so much. Everybody was pretty much who I wanted to use. Yes?
What was the biggest challenge you faced?
I'd say the weather. That was the biggest one. Even probably around here too, you never know what you're going to get from week to week. So you kind of plan your whole week ahead of filming, where you're going to be shooting, and get everybody together. But you might show up and there might be a big snowstorm, or it might be raining. So that was just the biggest challenge dealing with that. Yes?
So how much does a good-looking Sasquatch cost?
Our Sasquatch, it was, I think when it was all said and done, it was about $20,000. Just the suit rental alone, not the makeup and effects, that was $3,000. And then the actor we got to play for it, that includes the actor and the makeup effects and everything involved with that. He did not only the Sasquatch outfit, but he did like the severed head and all the body parts and the dead-looking cow. He did all that stuff too in that price. And but I mean, they got the whole, like, got to get the whole face stuff done. Like, he had to get his own, he had to go to the eye doctor to get the contacts made, go to the dentist to get the teeth formed for his mouth. So, I mean, it was a big process getting all that stuff done for the guy who did it. His name was Trey Snow. And he was actually still in college when he did it, but he was going to, I forget what school he was going to, but he was a theater major, but he was majoring more like creature acting, which I didn't know was a thing. But like when you see movies like Alien or The Predator, like those people that are in those suits, they go to school for like creature acting, like how to act like an alien or a Sasquatch and stuff like that. So this was his first movie doing this, and he did a really good job with it. Yes?
Could you talk about some of the challenges, especially for people in this room who aspire to do it, of not only directing but starring in the same picture?
Gotcha. It's, you really, when you do that, it's nice to have like a good crew, like a good DP, and I also had this, a really good AD, a really good assistant director. So anytime I was in front of the camera, he was behind it, making sure that we got everything right and it looked good. So that was a big part of it, just knowing someone I could trust and knowing he knew what I was trying to get. So that was a big thing. And then messing up my lines all the time too and yelling at myself. What's the matter with you?
Do you find that you're hypercritical?
No, I think I was amazing. No. No, yeah, you are. And then like it's weird because no one's really, what's nice is it was a very like, everybody is helping everybody out. So if something didn't land right or someone said, maybe you might want to try that again, and that was all around, that really helps out. And we would help each other with that stuff. Big team effort. Yes?
I was lucky enough to actually see another one of your movies, Fabulous.
Oh, okay.
In Sprouls' class.
Yeah.
What were, from then until now, what are some of the major lessons that you've learned throughout your experience that took you, or not took you, that placed you where you are today in the movie making business?
What was cool about that, like that was when I shot that at college, and I talked to Sprouse about this too. I always think it's like when you're at college, and if this is something you want to do, I find it's like your own movie studio here. You got access to pretty much everything, and locations and sets, and you can do stuff and not have to. You have to ask permission, but you have to pay for permits or pay the actors or pay the crew. Really, you can just go wild, go nuts, and shoot whatever you kind of want to shoot. But from there, the friends I started making from there and working with, I still work with some of those people, and it also taught me how to, direct and work with a group of people, because it's a lot of personalities, and a lot of people, and there's a lot of things you're trying to accomplish, and just trying to lead the ship. So that stuff was very helpful, and thank you for watching Fabulous.
Oh, it was great.
Anybody else? Yes.
Could you cite some instances regarding the difficulty of shooting at night?
Okay. Yeah. We had a lot of help from the local police department there. They were very behind the movie, which really helped. And they actually had this big police truck that had this huge LED light on the front. That was very nice to have for night shoots. And then, but every night shoot we had to have a generator. And the problem with the generator and audio, it just doesn't go along that well. So we would have to get this generator, and we would hook it up and have it as far away as you can from set, and then run extension cords up to the set to keep it going. But that's a big part why I wanted to wait till the time change happened, where it started getting dark at 5:30, because I knew we would need as much darkness as we could get in those night scenes. Because, you can set up as much as you can, but you got to wait till it gets dark to really get it lit. And some nights it'll be 2 hours before we get the first shot off, just getting everything lit and ready to go. And then sometimes a light goes out, or you have those problems too. So it definitely takes a lot more time than it does in the day.
Did you have a lot of difficulty with the Bigfoot suit?
Not so much. The suit was pretty good. It didn't give us that much problem. The guy we got for the special effects makeup was really just on and knew his stuff, and was really great with it. Yes.
How many hours of shooting for that?
How many hours shooting for the movie? I never really did the whole math behind how many hours to shoot. Which nice is about digital, you can just keep on shooting. But I'd say over 100 hours at least. of stuff to go through. And that includes stuff that, we did a couple time-lapse shots and stuff like that, so you're recording for a while. And I was always big on telling the DP, like, just, when we're there and we're in the scene, even if we yell cut, like, feel free to roll a little bit afterwards or beforehand, because there's some stuff we got in there that was we just happened to catch, and it worked out really good. Yeah? Yes?
Just curious, what was it like using firearms in your movie?
That was the second most expensive thing in the movie, because originally when we shot the fake trailer, we just used guns, whatever. But when you have talent on set and a lot of crew people, like, you got to be safe about that. So I had to hire an armorer who, they do this stuff where all the guns were, half were real and half were fake, but it's all blanks or, stuff like that. So, and that's very expensive. Like, blank bullets compared to real bullets are actually a lot more expensive. So, like that scene where we're all shooting at the fridge and the mattress and everything is, I didn't have a ton of money to work with, like, because of our budget. So I would get 3 takes with each gun to, like, use the whole clip. So that's why we do, like, we'll do our wide shot, and we'll do our medium shot, and we'll close up, and just one of each, and that's what we had to do because you're counting those bullets as they go. So it was one of the most expensive things on there, but it was interesting seeing that side of it and the protocol that you have to do for that stuff. Yes?
What was probably your favorite scene to film?
Favorite scene to film? I liked a lot of the scenes that I wasn't in because I could just sit back and watch, and it was nice. But the one scene I really enjoyed doing was when the 4 main actors, when we're at the bar at the end in the mayor's house and we're doing the shots, which is just iced tea. But we just had a lot of fun because we just did it in one shot, one take. But we just did a ton of different takes on it. And that was just a lot of fun, just going back and forth and all that stuff. So that's probably, it was inside and it was warm. It was nice. I didn't have to worry about the weather. Yes?
How'd you come up with the idea to blow up Bigfoot?
I was a big fan of Rambo too, with the bow and arrows, him exploding stuff, and Jaws. They blew up Jaws in the first one. So, and I also wanted to make sure at the end of it that there was no evidence, so no one really believed the guys. So I'm like, well, we'll have to blow him up, I guess, or her. Anybody else? Yes.
What made you make Bigfoot a girl?
That was, I kind of want to do a little twist to it because we always talked about, like, doing kind of a sequel to the movie too, which we might do. I think we're kind of in the process of it right now. The investors are very happy with this, and we just got a distributor with it, so it's in the process of happening, but I kind of wanted to do something where at the end of the movie, you see the guy, he hears the little Bigfoot. So I want to do like a female where she had a baby because I thought it'd be really funny in the sequel to have Chuck raising a baby Bigfoot. And like, give him a little mullet or a jean jacket and just, walk around. I thought that'd be a very funny scene. So that's what we're kind of setting up the sequel. Yes?
Seeing the success of Bigfoot the movie, does this make you want to work on other creature feature movies in the future?
Yes, for sure. I've always been a huge fan of creature feature movies growing up. That's the kind of movies I'm very passionate about and that I like to make. So that's why I chose this one as the first one to do, and I would love to keep on. There's other movies I would love to make if I ever get the chance, but the creature feature is definitely one of the things I'm most passionate about. Hey, thank you. Anybody else? Yes?
What advice do you have about the film industry?
If you're interested in getting in it, I'd say start shooting stuff right now. I've shot a lot of stuff before getting this thing off the ground. Just, working on your craft, that you can call it, or just practice and just keeping sharp on it and just knowing all the fields of it. Because, not only did I shot the movie, well, I didn't shoot the movie, but I directed it, but I also edited the movie together, which was a huge thing that took a long time to learn, like in school. And then after school, a job I worked at was learning how to cut films and just keep on doing that stuff so when the opportunity came up, I knew how to do that stuff and I know what I'm talking about when you go into it. It's good to know every kind of field you can in the production area. in California where I live, I've done, a pre-production, post-production, worked as a PA, worked as a camera assistant, done all that stuff just to know as much as you can about it so you kind of have an idea of what you're getting into. But I say just always be shooting stuff. Yes?
I noticed, I've known you forever.
Yes.
So, a lot of years. And can you talk a little bit about networking? Because I know I've recognized a lot of the same people in here that you've worked on in other productions.
Right.
And the advantages of maybe networking with even people, like, to give some advice to them.
Well, we were talking about like Fabulous a little bit. People I've worked from then still work for now, because it starts in life. You start working with people when you realize the people that you do want to work with and keep on working with, who make a good team or just have the same kind of ideas and focus. And like I mentioned about doing a lot of different jobs out in California, that was a big part of it too, like working on different sets, like, oh, I'd like to work with that person, or this person's really good at this, and just having that knowledge and just keeping that in mind when you do have the opportunity, like calling those people up and like, hey, I got a project, would you want to work on this with me? And hopefully they feel the same way about you.
You've worked a lot on other stuff. I want everybody to understand, you've worked a lot on other stuff other than just college films and this one.
Right.
You did a lot for MTV, you did a lot with, was it Urban Legends?
Yeah.
And some other TV shows. Can you kind of elaborate how all of that kind of comes together to give you a background to get investors interested into something like that?
Well, what would always help with those investors is like just knowing what you're talking about too. Like, hey, this is my idea for the movie, and having the fake trailer was good too. Like, so they had an idea of like what I have worked, what I have done, and know that I can do something like that. And then just saying the people that I've worked with and everything. And right before I got the movie done, I worked on for FX Networks at like an outside vendor where they'll hire your company to shoot stuff. And we worked on that show, Sons of Anarchy, from the beginning to the end, shooting all their behind the scenes and their previews. And we shot a documentary of their final season. So I would kind of like not name drop that, but let them know that I did work on other things and more and bigger projects, just so they know like that I know what I'm talking about or doing, to kind of get behind it in a way. Yeah, to trust it. And like, okay, well, he must know something if he's done these things. Anybody else?
One last question.
Yes.
If you look back at college Jared Chow, and if you had to give him some advice, knowing what you know now a few years later, what kind of advice would you give him as a filmmaker to achieve some of the success you've had over the years?
I would have, I think even in college, I wasn't doing as much as I could have technology-wise with like learning how to shoot stuff and light stuff. I was doing some editing stuff, but there are other aspects I really wasn't doing, and I was always thinking, well, I'm just gonna direct, so I don't have to worry about this other stuff. And then I soon realized like it's good to know all that stuff, so you know what you're talking about. And you know, like lighting a shot for a movie can really take hours. It can take 3-4 hours if you really want a well lit shot. And you know, in college, I would just like throw up a light and like, okay, you can see the person, we're good to go, you know. But you know, it really can set the mood for something, and it's good to know. So when you go on set, and because I've seen it on other projects I've worked on, being a PA or something, and the director comes on there and he's flipping out because the shot's not ready to go, but you can tell they're trying to take their time and make it the best looking shot they can. But if you don't have like a background knowledge of that, it just makes you kind of look like an idiot, you know. Cool, awesome, all right. Thank you, everybody.
Live in Elwood City. Police have told me there are several fatalities, but I have had the opportunity to speak with a couple of eyewitnesses.
All you city folk think up here in the sticks are just a bunch of hicks sitting around, getting drunk, telling stories of spaceships landing. Now here we saw Bigfoot. I'm here to tell you right now, I'm gonna bring you the proof.
Now boys, this sounds a lot like the time you called to tell me you saw a dragon in the bathroom at Long John Silver's.
I ain't huffed gas in over 4 years. This was real.
Hey, you just missed it. Bigfoot was just down here.
No longer are we going to be the laughing stocks of this tide. He is!
We need to find this beast, and we need to kill him.
We need to kill him dead! Is it a crime to go out driving around, spotting deer, shooting shotguns, all while drinking beer?
Yes, actually, those are all crimes.
I'm an exterminator. That's what I do. I exterminate things. You know, pests, vermins, except humans, of course. Of course.
We're gonna take Bigfoot, grind him up, turn him into jerky, and then we'll sell it to the town. I'll give you my world famous deer jerky recipe. That sounds good. Let's do this! Yeah! Come on, come get it!
Look how large his footprint is.
It's huge.
It's big. It's a big foot. You get it?